The results are in for Wisconsin's spring primary, our first election of 2020.
Polls closed about 2 hours ago, and you can see results scrolling at the bottom of your screen in just a few minutes. The big race in the city of Milwaukee, though, is for mayor. Incumbent Tom Barrett seeking his 5th term, facing challenger State Senator Lena Taylor, Alderman Tony Zielinski, and newcomer Paul Raskey. Mayor Barrett and Lena Taylor both move on to the April ballot.
We have crews with each of the candidates tonight.
Yes, we do. And Ben Jordan is at the Taylor campaign watch party. But let's start with Tom Durian at Barrett's headquarters.
Hi, Shannon. Yeah, Mayor Barrett said he chose this location here on Fond du Lac Avenue near North because it represents an investment in this part of the city that hadn't really seen it in years past. Now, the mayor arrived here this evening to applause from his supporters, packed into the small neighborhood bar, a quintessential Milwaukee scene. Spreading the wealth throughout the city will likely be a focal point of this election against challenger Senator Lena Taylor. The senator has slammed the mayor for slow growth outside of downtown. I asked the mayor about the weeks ahead before the general election and the campaign that he will run.
I'm not someone who tries to score points by putting people down. I'm not someone who tries to divide us, because I don't think in the long term that's the recipe for success. I think the recipe for success is recognizing that as a community, we're stronger when we come together.
Well, the mayor says it's back to work tomorrow, and then, of course, the campaign shifts into high gear. The mayor has won the vote by more than 70% in his last 3 runs for office. Now let's head over to Ben Jordan. He's at Senator Lena Taylor's campaign just down the road. Ben?
That's right, Tom. We are currently at a sports bar on MLK Drive. Here's Lena right here, who just found out you're going to be on the ticket in April. How does it feel, Lena?
It's extremely exciting. It's extremely exciting to see a grassroots campaign move forward, that money could not do it, could not keep us out, that the voice of the people was heard, and we're going to continue to work on the ground, wear these chucks if necessary to get the job done, and we're going to continue to fight for this to be a city that is a city that's equitable and inclusive.
Thank you, Lena. Let my photographer kind of show you around here. Dozens of supporters. Lena said she chose this location, the Hollywood Park neighborhood, because she feels Milwaukee's neighborhoods have been neglected when it comes to funding and development under Mayor Barrett. What is the biggest difference between the two candidates?
Transparency and inclusion. I believe in including the people. I believe in hearing the voice of the people, and I believe in knowing the needs of the people and addressing that.
Taylor has been a Democratic member of the Wisconsin Senate representing Milwaukee for the past 15 years. Taylor says her top priority as mayor would be to reduce crime and restore safe neighborhoods. She also wants an increase in education funding and employment opportunities to address racial disparities in Milwaukee. Taylor says she's running a grassroots campaign with much less money than Mayor Barrett. However, she says money will not prevail over the wants and needs of her community. Reporting live on Milwaukee's north side, Ben Jordan, today's TMJ4.
All right, Ben, thank you. So it is Senator Taylor versus Mayor Barrett. Charles Benson here now. This will be a different kind of race than Mayor Barrett's run in the past. What does this all mean now?
Yeah, I mean, he's seeking a 5th term. He is Milwaukee's 3rd longest serving mayor, and he's got $1 million in the bank, so he's got a lot going forward here. He's been running on a simple message that crime is down, buildings are going up in downtown Milwaukee. Be the first to tell you that there are things that can need change and some improvement. But I don't know, when you look at the numbers tonight, if you see any big wave for a change in leadership. Look, there are about 600,000 people that live in the city. Not all of them are voting age, but tonight we had about 60,000 votes. So there doesn't seem to be any big enthusiasm for change. Now, I know one person who wants to change that is Senator Lena Taylor. She's been a state senator since 2004. She grew up in Milwaukee. She went to Rufus King. She knows this area, but Milwaukee has never elected an African American or a woman as mayor. She made a little bit of a reference to it. She likes to wear those Converse high-top shoes, and she's hoping then to run through both of those barriers. But keep in mind, this is going to be an uphill climb for her.
Charles, one thing Barrett mentioned was that he doesn't make points by putting people down. Do you think the gloves come off in the next few weeks from both camps to try to edge out, like you said, that small amount of turnout to the polls?
I mean, I think there will be a big debate on policy issues. I don't think the personal boxing gloves will come out.
We shall see.
Charles Benson, thanks. Stick around.
And another important race we are also following tonight, Milwaukee County Executive Chris Abele, if you remember, announced that he would not seek a re-election last fall. 4 candidates were vying to replace him. State Senator Chris Larson and State Representative David Crowley move on to the election in April.
All right, only a couple thousand votes between the top 2 here, Charles. What's this say going forward?
So Senator Larson, this is his second run for county executive. Tonight, he's probably thinking deja vu all over again, to borrow a line from Yogi Barrett, because 4 years ago, he came in first place. He beat Chris Abele in the primary, only to go on and lose in the general election. Now, this is going to be interesting. Abele, as you mentioned, not on the ballot, but his name and his influence is being felt tonight because he's backing another candidate, State Representative David Crowley, a political newcomer, really just got elected to office in 2016 in the state assembly. But as you look at the numbers tonight, close election, both are Democrats, so both will be appealing to those same type of voters. Close election tonight, likely to be a close election come April 7th.
All right, we have one statewide race today, and that is state Supreme Court. The incumbent Justice Daniel Kelly, appointed to the bench by former Governor Scott Walker, facing off against Dane County Circuit Judge Jill Karofsky and Marquette University Law School Professor Ed Falone. Kelly and Karofsky moving on to April, and Scott
Justice
Walker.
Kelly had a statement that she wanted to release tonight saying in part, or him saying in part, results prove that Wisconsinites are passionate about preserving their Constitution and upholding the rule of law on their Supreme Court. And Judge Jill Karofsky giving her statement in part saying, we have built momentum across the state because voters want a Supreme Court that is free of corruption and special interest influence.
So break this one down for us. We get Scott Walker's name involved in one more election here.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the Supreme Court is now 5-2 leaning towards the conservatives. Dan Kelly is one of them, and he does run up some good numbers here tonight. He was appointed by Governor Walker and has raised more money in this race than the other particular candidates. But this election is going to look a whole lot different come April 7th because Judge Jill Karofsky, who is a Dane County judge and is being backed by liberals on the court, why this race will look a lot different 7 weeks from now is because there's something else on the ballot that day. It's called the Democratic presidential primary, and you're going to get waves of people coming in for that particular race, and Democrats feel that could give someone like Judge Karofsky an edge or an advantage on April 7th.
All right. Well, we're also keeping an eye on the race to replace high-profile Republican Representative Sean Duffy in the 7th Congressional District. That covers Wausau. On the Republican side, Tom Tiffany, and for the Democrats, Teresa Zunker will be on the ballot in April. To get a closer look at all of the primary results we spoke about this evening, head to our website, tmj4.com/elections.